it. Okay, I want to push the people now, the Army, to call friends tonight, now, dial it up, to join the rally. Do that, and because we're going to give you the count on the number when we get through, close to the end, we'll give you the count. You're going to be absolutely pleasantly surprised at the number we give you. So call now, get them in here, and signed up, okay?
Boone, you know, one of the things I want to say about this whole event that you've pulled together, 10 years ago, we couldn't do this, right? We couldn't get together with 25, 30,
I didn't
40.
know these people then.
No, well, beyond that. You
No,
couldn't do it.
you're right. We didn't have the technology.
This is what innovation does. Innovation enables us, and this is the innovation we've had in the communication sector, and look what we can do with it. Now, can't we get that kind of innovation in the energy sector? Imagine
Of course
how,
we can.
and we could if we just put our minds to it, because we've already shown with telecommunications, Americans know how to innovate their way into the future. We're just not doing it in energy. So I think we ought to take this whole example of what we're doing tonight and say we want to be able to have these kinds of innovations in the energy sector, get ourselves off fossil fuels and foreign oil, and solve these problems.
Wouldn't you like to have had the candidates tonight to have a 3-minute exchange on the plan, their plan, what they're going to do to reduce the dependency on foreign oil?
I think that would have been wonderful, and I think it would have been wonderful if they'd had to describe it not in terms of the way Washington talks about it, but in terms of, so I could understand it and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to rebuild your buildings. This is what we're going to do. We're going to build the wind corridor. We're going to have a 21st century grid by the end of my administration.
We're going to
Whatever
use
it's going to be. We're going to use natural gas for transportation of big trucks. Whatever their plans might be different, but it would be good to have concrete plans so people like you and me could look at it and say, well, that one sounds better to me. Maybe somebody's got a better plan, Boone, but you can't
exactly.
tell tonight.
And if they do, listen, I'm enough of an American. If somebody comes up with a better plan than mine, I'll join them, and they can start paying for the television, and I'll join them though and clap my hands.
No. Buy the television now, and then let's just devote to the better plan. We got another question for you, Boone, and this one is an easy one. Can we fix the economy without fixing oil? I don't know who asked this one, but it was one of the questions one of the Army asked.
It's interesting. Could we fix the economy without fixing the oil? You've got to do something for the economy. There's no question. And it's going to take you a little while to get geared up. I would say you've got to come up with something for the economy. If you could just get it started and then you could start to get rid of foreign oil, it would give a real takeoff for it. But you're not going to, I don't think you're going to be able to reduce foreign oil imports for probably, you'll start to see some action within 2 years if the plan goes into place.
I'm a little more optimistic because you may not reduce the volume of oil that comes in that much in the next year, but I think you can bring down the price because very small reductions in American demand for oil have a big impact on the world price. And if you bring down the price, I mean, we've already gone from $700 billion to $500 billion. But I think this, I'm going to now guess about what whoever asked this question was thinking about. I think in a longer term, Boone, as long as we're importing this much oil, we're going to have a huge foreign payments deficit. And as long as we have a huge foreign payments deficit, we're going to be relying on foreign countries to own our debt, and we're always going to be vulnerable. I don't think you can really fix the economy without fixing oil. I just don't think there's any way to get there.
But you're not going to bring the price down, Carl.
By reducing our demand?
What's going to happen is the owners of the oil will adjust supply.
Well, they haven't done so far. You notice what's happened. Now, again, I think we did it the wrong way. We did it by messing up our economy. I'd like to do it the right way by accelerating and improving our economy. But I don't think it's so easy for OPEC to cut back and keep the price up at $130 a barrel. I don't think that's easy for them.
Maybe not 130, but they'll keep it around 100.
Well, then long term we're going to have to bring the amount down.
But the reason now is that the Russians have started to become very interested in OPEC, where they've sent an observer. In September, they sent 22 people to the OPEC meeting, and they have stated that they want to get involved in stabilizing the price of oil, and that they can't ready an oil field and hold it and not produce it, or there's no use investing in money at that point. What I'm hearing from them is that you're going to see a price stabilized at 100 or better. Now,
at 100 or better.
Yep, is what's going to happen to us. And when we're, you know, like I think it was Senator Obama tonight said, 25% of we're using 25% of all the oil produced every day, and we only have 4% of the population.
And 3% of the reserves.
That's right. So that we're so out of step with the rest of the world on the use of oil. They say, well, we're so much more highly industrialized. That's fine, but nonetheless, we're out of step. We're using way too much.